Reselling life.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of This Is Your Reselling Life. Tonight we have the man, the myth, the legend, Rod, the pommy picker. So without any further ado, let's get the main man up on the screen and start this live. How are you?
I'm fine. That was quite an intro. Thank you very much. It's a bit too complimentary, though.
You're looking very suave there tonight with your suit on.
Well, I thought I'd dust my whistle off so you can, oh, sorry, my suit, my whistle and flute suit. Sorry. Yes, it's the wrong shirt for the suit, but every week you have a jacket and tie, and I can't find my ties. So yes.
I'll say a quick hello to everyone in the chat before we get started. So Jazz was the first one in saying ready to meet the man behind the waffle. Thrift.me, which is Frank, saying hi. Peter is in. Watcher 1421, Bron, Ricky, Peter, Just Me, Kathy, Second Life Sales, Shirley, heaps of people, Zach, and also Drew and Shirley. Thanks everyone for coming. So tonight we're here to learn about Rod and every little bit of information we can drag out of him. I know he likes to channel hop quite a lot, so we're going to try and get some exclusive for you guys. So I guess the way we usually like to start it about these is sort of a bit of a story about how you got into reselling. I know that started back in the day. So do you want to go through that a little bit?
Back in the day, I'm not a dinosaur, mate.
well.
Although, yeah. Oh, mate, I've always been wheeling and dealing since I was even at school. Selling dinner tickets of all things. We used to have a system at one of the schools, high school, where there was a certain section of the kids who were allocated a lunch ticket, so it ensured they got a meal.
Yep.
And me and a friend of mine, we just happened to walk past one of the office doors one day and saw reels and reels of these dinner tickets. So a couple of them just seemed to fall on the floor, and we were selling them around. I was only about 12 at the time.
Yeah.
But just ever since I can remember, I've always tried to have a little bit of a wheel and deal of something. Yeah. And
you were on eBay real early in the UK, weren't you?
Yeah, about 99, I think. I never had a computer till about 1998. I never, and mobile phones then. I did have a mobile phone, but it was the old brick, the Motorola with looked like a Vietnam walkie-talkie. And so 1999, I think I went on eBay in the UK. I had to go with Amazon as well in the UK. Wasn't too good on Amazon. I was better on it there than I was here. It's shocking here. But, yeah. So.
Yeah. And you sort of, when you moved over to Australia, did you start reselling straight away again, or did it take a while to?
Not very next day, mate. No. When we first came over, which was about 10 years ago now, we were renting a place in a place called Arana Hills in that Brisbane region area.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't long before I actually tried to use my old UK eBay account, but eBay Australia wouldn't allow me to do so. They said, no, you have to, make a fresh one. So I think my UK one, it's now dead in the water. It's gone. And that had close on to about 12,000 feedback. It was quite a,
wow.
Oh yeah, I was selling anything and everything. I used to do a lot of, my trade is you call it fitter turner over here, and I used to go around buying up a lot of tooling, the drills, measuring equipment, things like that, and that's what I was selling a lot of to the model engineers. They love it, So yeah, came over here, opened a fresh account, found a few items to sell, and just started from there really.
And Bob's your uncle, as they say.
And Fanny's me aunt.
Jazzy's got a quick question here for you. What made you decide to move to the land down under?
The Queen, she made me.
Sent you over?
That's all we'll say. No, I've got two lads. At the time, there was about 9 and 7 years old. And I mean, I love the UK. I always will. It'll always be my home. Although this is my home, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, you got an affinity there.
Yeah, and no one likes to hear the country being rubbished or anything, but I have to admit the weather is shocking. And you know, that was one of the main reasons. I woke up one Saturday, and I'll never forget it. And my missus opened the bedroom curtains, and she said, "Oh well, at least it's not raining." I thought, is that all I've got to look forward to?
Yeah.
You know? Well, the main thing was I wanted a more outdoor lifestyle for my lads, and that's probably the main, you know, impetus for us to move over here. Are my glasses reflecting on your screen?
A little bit, yeah. I think it's just
I'm
the
trying
light.
to look down. I'm blind as a bat these days without these glasses. I need to go back to Specsavers because they're shocking.
Yeah.
The only fair pair, yeah, it's either Specsavers or Lifeline's wicker basket on the counter rummaging through some.
And you were saying that you moved straight to Queensland?
Yeah, it wasn't really by a calculated choice. A lot of I've quite a few friends. In fact, the son of the landlord of my local back in the UK, a local pub, he lives in Perth, and we kind of. A lot of people said, "Oh, move to Western Australia. There's a lot of English over there." And a lot of mates I had over there said, "Oh yeah, you can go down to the pub on a Saturday afternoon, watch the football, sorry, soccer, you know." And I didn't want to just replicate one environment for another. I wanted to meet other people. I wanted to, you know, get to know other, not get in depth with the cultures. I'm not on a religious mission or anything, but you know, just get to know different people. And strangely enough, our next door neighbour in the UK, they moved. She's a nurse, and they moved over here, and they ended up in Queensland. So I suppose in a way, it was kind of comfy slippers. You know, we got off the plane. Kevin, her husband, picked us up, and we stayed with them for a month while we got sorted out. So it's pretty much sort of all just kind of happened for us. There was no real planning.
Yeah, well, you sort of landed in one of the best spots, I think. Queensland's probably one of the warmer ones all year round.
Well, yeah, I mean, I did say, my missus keeps reminding me, she did say that I was always harping on back in the UK that if I came to Australia, if it didn't work and I ended up as poor as a church mouse, I'd rather be poor with the sun on my back, so than you know, slightly richer stood under an umbrella. So
Cara said there is so many English in WA. PDB, who is your favourite football team in the EPL? He says he's a resident Arsenal fan.
Yeah, you can get medication for that, Pete. Don't worry. No, mate, blue all the way, Man City all the way, mate, man and boy.
Zach did ask a question about eBay, so I guess this will probably flow into what we're going to go into next anyway. But on average, how many items do you list each day, and how many items are in your store?
Oh, crikey! Well, the first part, it's like everyone else. It varies so much.
Yeah,
it depends on stock and can you be asked, or can you be bothered, basically. How many items in your store? I've got 3 stores. 2 of them you know about. The main one, I think at the moment's probably only got about 550 in, but the DVD one, I think when I last looked, because I've not listed any for 2 days, But when I last looked, I think it was close on to 900.
No.
There was at one point about 1,200 in it, but it just, yeah.
Sold out.
Just, oh, yeah, you know, it slowed down a bit, but I blame Ken. Ken will be lurking around in the chat.
He'll be around. Bronwyn's asking how old you are. So I did get this information from you earlier on. So 51 years young.
I was joking.
And you're living in Lockyer Valley, aren't you?
Yeah, no, I'm actually 62.
Oh, 62. You are.
Yeah, I'm 52, mate, at Christmas.
Mate, you're throwing curveballs left, right, and centre here. I can't control you.
No, I'm 52 at Christmas. So if you all want to send me a,
present,
forget send a present, not a
card. Tat Doctor's in. Hello all.
Hi, Ian.
So here we go. Retirement age.
Well, I'll be honest with you all. Can anyone these days even say that what day they'll retire? You know, you get near as 65 or whatever it is, and I'll retire, and then everything goes up and things. I'll be doing this till they either put me in the hole or send me up the chimney, one of the two.
Yeah. I think that's a very good comment. It's very hard to retire properly these days, though. So.
Yeah, it was probably better in my parents both passed away. It was probably better in their day, better for planning, I suppose.
Yeah, different. Yeah,
but they probably thought it wasn't. So I don't know. He was right.
Here's a very in-depth question, Rod. Is it true you had a mullet back in the day?
Can you my interpretation of a mullet might be different to yours, so I don't know what.
Did you have party at the back, business at the front?
I've never had a party at the back and business at the front. What are you talking about?
That's what they call a mullet.
Not while I've been sober, anyway. So a mullet, no. I used to, when I was 23 to about 27, I used to have long hair, and that was literally down to the, top of me belt line. I had a beard out here, and I was a bass player in a thrash metal band.
Is there any footage of this?
Fortunately, no. There is.
Surely there's some sort of archive.
There was we were the greatest band that never gigged. We practiced in a pub, and we basically just got drunk in the cellar pretending to practice and what have you. So yeah, I've got a cassette somewhere. Got that showing how long ago it is, a cassette.
You have to copy it to CD and sell it to the reselling community. I'm sure you get a few hits.
No, not staying. Under lock and key.
Here's a fellow Kane. My mum's in the chat saying retirement depends on the type of work you do. Thrifting could go on for years.
Yeah, I mean, it's something you can do well on. I mean, you could retire at 65 like a normal, sane person, and then think, well, I'm bored. You get under your wife's feet being at home. So you could go out doing this and earn a bit of retirement.
Absolutely.
money.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Jazzy's saying put the cassette up for auction, and Drew said first bid 80. That could be your retirement plan, Rod.
Oh, God.
Get it up there.
I won't get very far on $80.
So the next question I had is, in terms of reselling, did you see much of a difference between reselling in the UK and reselling in Australia? Was it easy to kind of just transfer those skills, or did you have to change what you were looking for and stuff like that?
You certainly had to change what he was looking for. I mean, I recognise quite a few names in here from the UK. So I don't know what it's like now, but you got to bear in mind is there's probably about 65 million people in the UK that they know about. And if everyone's having a dabble at this, the market's it's got to shrink. I know they can easily post to Europe, and and if we want to post anywhere outside of Australia, it's like ridiculous. But there's only 22 million people, is it, in Australia?
Yeah, I think it's 25, something like that. Something around there.
Yeah. So your market. I mean, someone told me once the easiest way to become a millionaire is find an item for $1 and sell it to 1 million people. So you've got 22 million here. So if you could apply that principle, you'd be laughing. But it's not going to happen, is it?
Try and convince 1 million people to buy something.
Yeah, but I certainly think the market over here is harder than what it was in the UK. That's just my opinion.
Well,
I suppose it depends on what you sell as well,
But it's a valid point because you've sold in both markets, so you see the trends and you kind of understand them. So
yeah.
Bron's saying I'd pay $300 if it included the music video.
I don't even think we had video back then, did we?
26 million in Australia.
All right, okay.
So now you were talking about your trade before, and I know from our chats before that you've recently moved into doing reselling full time due to circumstances at work. How have you found that transition again? Have you found it that you've been more driven to succeed, or has it been difficult? What has it been like?
Well, everyone's interpretation of success is different, isn't it?
That's very true.
I'm at the moment, I'm just happy to pay my bills and muddle through life. But the last time I did it for about 3 years full time, and then I think I got into some bad habits. I did get into some bad habits. Andrew, who I do the waffle with, he's kind of pulled me up on a few of them. I didn't travel far enough afield. I stayed in my own little community, and but them op shops soon dry up. So when I went back into full-time employment and then back into this, I tried to drop them bad habits. Not every one of them's been dropped, but I'm trying.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, try and put into practice now improvements on my failings previously. It's work. I'm paying my bills, so that's all that matters at the moment. Paying my bills.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you're right. Like success is different for different people. So for you to say that you're able to pay your bill is more than I can say for what I'm doing. So that's success for you.
Yeah, but I mean, everyone's financial circumstances are different as well. I mean, I don't know yours. I don't want to know yours because it's none of my business. But not one situation is the same for the whole community. Everyone's got a different standard they want. Different aspirations, I suppose.
So I might say, as long as you're happy and bills get paid, that's the main thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. There's been occasion the last time I was doing it where I had the occasional phone call off the NAB. Like, hey, when are you paying this mortgage? So, and it is worrying. But things happen. Just don't. If you stress too much, you'll make things worse. You just got to try and work a solution out.
Yeah. And you feel like you're in a better position than you were last time? Like you've sort of corrected those things that we weren't doing as well?
I think I've corrected probably about 70% of them. Certainly, see, one of my biggest problems was cake. And
sorry, what?
Cake. Well, in the UK, you don't have over here you have morning tea, don't you?
Yeah.
We don't. I'd never come across that before in the UK. So when I came over here, a couple of the op shops I used to go in, still do, but they're not there now. This is where this grannies things come in.
Yeah.
They used to invite me all in the back room when they were having morning tea, and I'd sit there for an hour or so, like munching on free cake and cups of coffee. And you know, that was like every Wednesday around about 10 o'clock or something like that. And you know, I do decline their offer now. You know, so I think it just become a bit of a joke, to tell you the truth. So
everyone's saying the cake is good though, so you know.
Yeah, we're selling it.
Yeah, that's one of the best theories on reselling rod. Everyone's circumstances are different. Yeah, and I think that's what this series has sort of shown, is everyone's ability to do things is different. Everyone's, you know, sourcing opportunities are different. Everyone's overheads are different. So yeah, it's very true. What do you mainly resell, Rod, apart from DVDs?
Oh God, pretty much most things that people get in the chat, you know, and just whatever, as long as it's legal, whatever you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. You never know.
True?
You never know.
Contact.
You never know. I had actually, talking about things that you sell, when we first came over, someone said to me once, if you ever want to know what is the biggest selling craze at the time, go ask a kid in a schoolyard. Obviously, you'd have to be very, you know, you couldn't just walk up to a kid in a schoolyard, or you'd find yourself in prison.
Yeah.
But at the time, I had two lads who were 7 and 9. And I remember in the UK, there was a little collectible character called Go-Go Crazy Bones. And they were like a collectible. Right? So all the kids were going mad for them in the UK. I remember that at the time, because my lads were, you know, all the pocket money were going on them. And when I came over here, there was none on sale on eBay.
Wow.
And I got in touch with the distributor in the UK, and they're out of business now, but they were in Blackburn in the UK, and they were the sole UK/Europe distributor for this item. And at first, they wouldn't sell me any over here because they didn't have distributor rights over here. So I was really going for it. I thought, oh, if I can get distributor rights, I'm laughing. But that wasn't going to happen. So in the end, they said, we'll sell you some of the stuff. So I was bringing over a couple, seriously, a couple of grand's worth of these items every other week. And I literally had the buy box on eBay for about 6 months. And yeah, but it's like everything, you know, the craze is what it, by its very nature, is what it is. It's a craze, and it dies a death after a while. And you just got to know at which point it's on the decline. It's like stocks and shares, isn't it? You know. So I got out of that pretty quick. After I made some good money though, but I don't know where it's all gone now.
Definitely. So my next question was about your reselling, and what's the oddest item you've ever sold? And I don't know if it's that item you sold the other week, but what is the oddest thing? Oh
God, I wish you'd give me some prior knowledge of that one. I remember when I was back in the UK, I kind of got a bit kind of confused with eBay. Went down a bit of a weird path. And it just used to amaze me the amount of sheer rubbish you can sell on eBay. And I decided to test something, and I sold a remote control for it. It operated. I advertised it as it would operate any push button electronic device. Now you got to remember, back in about 2002-3. There wasn't a requirement at the time I think it was about that time, to upload a photograph. You could put in the thing, the camera's broke, we'll upload a photograph later.
Yeah.
Well, I never uploaded a photograph, and I sold about 3 or 4 of these things. I can't remember what I paid. I sold them for, but I ended up refunding them because, you know, eBay got involved. Well, basically, I advertised that it was 8 inches long. Easy to operate, and you know, blah blah blah, and people got a bit upset when they received the bamboo stick,
I was thinking it was going to be something like that, like a
Yeah.
broom handle or something. Yeah.
And people saying this isn't what I ordered, and I was saying on the messages, you know, if you use it, does it? If you push the button with it, does it do what I've said? I was more of a test, really. I mean, it's showing me in a bad light there. Well, I remember that was back then, but it was just a test. I mean, I suppose that's one of the weirdest things I've sold. But it was just to see how the gullibility of people, and yeah, you know, oh,
That's what I
massager.
thought you were going to say, the massager.
No, I'd have to have a good think about that one, Brad. But yeah, recently the massage, yeah,
It was very
I
good.
did. Yeah, I thought it was something else when I picked it
Yeah.
up. It was quite,
Eric, if you want to ask Rod questions, if anyone wants questions for Rod, definitely drop them in. He's saying, is this a structured show? You do have blazers on. But definitely, if anyone wants to ask Rod a question, slam it in. We've got a few more in the chat dropped in. We've got 34 in the chat. So thanks, everyone, for coming along. So my next question is sort of, it's kind of hard to explain. So I guess reselling for us has really changed our outlook on life and how we go our day to day. So my question is, how has reselling changed your life? Like, what has it done for your, you know, your day to day life that's changed?
Well, my daily drive is a lot quicker these days. You know, it's instead of it being 45 minutes down the road, it's just 1 minute to the side of the shed. I have had for years, probably all my working life, a problem with authority.
Yeah.
I don't like being told what to do, especially when you've got an idiot who is your boss,
Yeah.
who is either there because he's the nephew or the uncle or whatever of the owner, or he's basically gone through a lot of I'm not dishing anyone who's done this, but you know, there's no hands-on knowledge of the workings of the machine or anything, but they think they know it.
Yeah.
So I think with reselling, it's kind of taken me away from any conflicts with employers.
Yeah.
I'm only accountable to myself and obviously, you know, family.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in that aspect, it's kind of took a lot of stress off myself from taking, you know, nonsense from employers.
Yeah. And have you found that it's sort of given you a different confidence because you know that you can provide outside of that normal sort of 9 to 5 job?
I've always been fairly confident. I mean, I'm not saying I'm you know, super confident. I'm not, you know, but I've always been reasonably confident. So I don't know if reselling has given me any more confidence. I'd have to say no, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Like, I think the reason I asked that is I sort of think that reselling has given me an opportunity to provide for myself, which gives me confidence that I'm able to do something that I didn't know that I could do. So
yeah. I mean, it's always good. I mean, you now know that should God forbid anything happen to your full-time employment, you know that you've now built up a skills base to at least earn some money for yourself and keep your head above water. When there's too many people, I think, they get in that 9 to 5, and then when you know they up to the neck in debt based on that 9 to 5, and then when the rug gets pulled from under the feet, you just collapse because they've no skill set to make it do anything.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, I agree. Eric's saying, working for yourself and not having a boss, what things do you do to not just sit around watching YouTube? How do you keep working and not get distracted?
Well, I must admit, past couple of that, the cat. Past couple of weeks, I have watched I've had it on in the background while I've been cleaning stuff, listing, whatever. how do you keep working and not get distracted? So I think what a lot of people fail to understand when they start doing reselling is they still get into that 9 to 5 mentality. So they'll do it 9 to 5 Monday to Friday. They might go a garage sale Saturday, but then like the weekend they chill out and they wait till 9 o'clock Monday morning. You can't operate like that with reselling. It's the internet. It operates 24/7. So you've got to service that requirement. I'm not saying you've got to be up 24 hours a day. There's only one person we both know who can do that. He's not in today, so must be somewhere on bum crack.
BCP,
yeah. But like I was talking to Andrew this morning, and I was saying to him, now it's getting warmer. I'm going to have to adjust my working day, if you like. So I'm going to start. I'll be up at 4 in the morning. I'll be in the shed, either packing, listing, or whatever, just for them first 3 hours before it's the heat starts to bite in and build up. And then in the afternoon, I can come in the house and just chill out a few hours instead of sweating in a tin shed, like,
Be a good weight loss plan, but maybe not good for the ticker.
It's not working, mate.
Drew's saying, what got you started putting together videos on YouTube, and how have you seen the reseller community change over time?
One of the jobs I used to work at, I used to pull up outside. It used to start at 6:30, but because of the traffic, I used to set off a bit early, and I'd get there half an hour early. So I'd be sat outside because I didn't want to go in. I don't know if anyone's ever worked in an engineering shop, but after a while, you kind of resent the smell. It's just this oily smell, and I hate it. But so I'd sit at the top in the car, waiting to clock on. I just started watching a few videos on YouTube, and the first person I watched on YouTube was a guy in the US called Global Voodoo.
Yep.
And that's how me and Andrew first got in touch, because he gave me a shout out on his show. I don't even know how that happened. Sorry, the truth. But I was just watching all these videos, and then I saw Nick's channel, and then Zahir started doing chats with him, and then ads and so on and so forth. And as I got doing reselling more, I thought, oh yeah, I might just put a video out, just see how it goes. I just enjoyed doing it. That's all. It just seemed to naturally flow on.
Yeah.
I think my first video, it's weird because I was looking at them all the other day. I think there's about 100 odd videos on at the moment.
Yeah.
And the very first ones, it was shocking. It was like making a homemade mannequin out of drain pipes.
Those first ones are always hard to look back on. I look back on my first one, I'm like, oh man, like my first one was not even up the right way. It was squished, and you regret putting them out. But you learn from those things, I think. So don't say BCP 3 times, bad things happen. I think people feel like they aren't suffering, they aren't working hard enough. Yeah, which is sad. Yeah.
That's that saying, isn't it? Don't what is it? Work smarter, not harder.
Not harder. Yeah, absolutely. So after you sort of started YouTube and you came across Andrew and that, how important is it for you to have that someone to share your day-to-day work with? Like, I know that you guys do a lot of working hangouts and you talk a lot, and even we've sort of conversed quite a lot outside of live. Is that a really important part of your day? Is that what sort of gets you through the day-to-day?
I think I've always my missus will tell you I'd probably be most happy sat on a desert island on my own.
Yeah.
I just to have no one mither me, no one just bug the hell out of me, just sat there just watching the day go by. But what I do realize is when you go into a normal 9 to 5 job, you've got them colleagues, like Bronwyn's just said there, it's like having colleagues.
Yeah.
And you've got that interaction during the day. When you're reselling, you're either at home on your own, either in a shed or in, you know, a room in your house what you've dedicated to it. And it can be very lonely. You know, you've not got that interaction with anyone. You know, you find yourself talking to the dog a lot. It gets worrying when the dog walks off. So yeah, I do feel, and YouTube, everyone putting videos out and that, and people meeting, like the Facebook group and what have you. These are work colleagues. You know, a lot of these people are on different side of the world. You'll never meet, but through the conversations you have in Facebook chats and things like outside of that, it's almost like, you know, you can just message them and say, hey, you know, I've picked up this item. What do you think? Blah blah blah. You know, so I do feel that the reselling community is a very positive attribute of the whole reselling game, if you like. I was going to say another word, but Andrew doesn't like French words.
People think you have to be busy, and if you're not busy, you're not productive, which isn't true. My husband made me one of those drain pipe men after he saw you do it, Rod. I love it.
Oh, all right. Oh, I do apologize.
Gave someone some pleasure.
Gave someone's husband some work. I do apologize.
I can honestly say that, Rod, doing fun working hangouts has definitely helped me list more. It's like having workmates without the hassle and the commute.
Yeah, it's exactly right. Yeah.
Totally, Bron, when I'm listing, I tend to have reseller videos playing in the background, so I feel like there's conversations. Yeah, yep. We do the same. We put on like whoever's videos come out that week, and it just helps us get through our listings.
Well, about 4 years ago when I was doing it, I used to have quite a large TV in the shed. And this is going to sound sad, but I'm a big Sherlock Holmes fan. And I used to continually play all these DVDs. I never watched anything on YouTube while I was listing everything. I just used to listen to it in the background. But it got to the stage where I was knowing what they was going to say before they was, and I thought, I've got to sort something out here. And then I started just watching YouTube during the, you know, or listening to it, not watching it, just listening. Also, audio books. When I used to listen to a lot of audio books, you know, when you're in the car, you know, just make use of the time in the car instead of listening to the rubbish on the radio. Put an audio book on it, or what, you know. I'm not into these. There's going to be a lot of people in the chat who like these people, but I'm not very big into this Gary V and the other fella and all that. You know, they seem to be the only ones making any money out of flogging them books. Good luck to them. I'm not, you know, I'm no one to knock them or anything, but I just don't see how you just get out there and do it. You don't need somebody else to tell you what to do.
I think you have to provide your own motivation. So if you're relying on someone else to pep you up and get you going, then there's going to be a point where you're going to run out of people to pep you up. So you've got to kind of find your own drive, I think. Jazzy's saying, and you can block the colleagues you don't want. Yeah, when you chatting to people. I tried that, but Rod just keeps coming back. I don't know what's going on. YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook are my colleagues. Being a stay-at-home dad and reseller is great in the community. Absolutely. Jazz says she finds motivational speakers frustrating.
See, there's a guy on at the moment. He's been promoting on YouTube. You know, the adverts that keep coming up. He's been promoting. I can, you know, tell you how to make 1,000 this, that, the other on Amazon, and he did very well in the US. And now he's promoting his Amazon group over here. I've not yet met one person who's sold anything of any decent regularity on Amazon over here. And I went on to one of his. He did a free live stream, one of these. You know, when they're on stage and they're preaching to people like this, that, and the other. And then right at the very end, he says, "Yep, you can order your." And this course was $4,000, right? For limited time. And I was like, I bet. And everyone will have seen him. I'm not going to say his name because I don't want any lawsuits coming out after me. But let's put it, he's got big teeth. We'll say that. You'll know the one I mean when you see it next time.
Yeah, I think you can get sort of trapped in that sort of stuff. Drew's saying, I just want to listen to Rod's trash metal cassette while listening.
It kind of sounded like a bit like Slayer and a cat being strangled. Yeah.
I would love to get my hands on that. That would. Oh.
That,
Ron's saying rubbish. I bloody love Rod's accent. That was because someone said that you sound like a northerner still, even though that you've been in Australia forever.
Yeah, I don't think the accent will change. I think certain phrases, or like one thing I noticed when I came over here, you say the word "good." You know, I'm good. When I've only been over here a few days, and we went into a Coles, and I never knew about this rounding up or down you did with your money. You know, we didn't have that in the UK. And I'm stood at the checkout, and she done my groceries and that, and I've given her the money, and I'm stood there, and there's a queue for me, and she said, "Right, you're all okay now." I said, "Oh, what about my change?" And it was like that was a bit of an embarrassment. But then she said, well, sorry, before I first put my groceries on the conveyor belt, she says, "Hi, how are you?" I said, "So how are you?" And she went, "I'm good." And I went, "Good at what?" Just different phrases I wasn't familiar with, but I find myself saying it now. I don't think the accent will change though. So.
No. So what would you say in response to that in the UK? Like, what would the conversation be?
Well, again, it's very regional. So my what I would say, my response would be different than say someone who lived in, say, I don't know, London. So yeah, don't really know now. But,
lost forever.
Yeah.
Damo's in. G'day, mate. YouTube Premium is well worth it. Get rid of ads. Yeah, for sure. Living the dream. Awesome.
That's what puzzles me. Sorry, YouTube Premium. If you're getting rid of the ads,
so you're paying to use the service, and then that payment goes to the people making content. Yeah. Here's a good question. Do you resell mainly new items or use vintage antiques items, Rod?
Everything, every one of them.
All of the above?
Whenever and wherever. Yeah, I tried. I know it's very popular in the US and the UK. The website Etsy.
Yes.
And I've tried that over here, and it's shocking. I just cannot get my head around it. And I've come to the conclusion that Etsy is an anagram of "enjoy the sale yearly," because that's all I got.
Whoa!
That's get out of the way, you daft thing. So yeah, it was shocking. I just did not get any decent sales through it. It's a completely different way of listing or interpreting how to list on Etsy as it is to eBay. I'd love someone to show me how to do it properly, because I won't mind giving it another go. But yeah, they're everywhere.
Some interesting language. And you do a bit of Facebook Marketplace as well, don't you? Like just your bigger items and stuff, you get rid of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I like Facebook Marketplace. You know, you get frustrations with people not turning up, but it's only the same as eBay. You get non-paying bidders.
Yeah.
You just got to accept it and move on. I know a few people, in the chat don't like Facebook Marketplace. I do think Facebook Marketplace will be the next go-to place when they finally sort out some proper payment system and method. I can't say the word. A method of incorporating an eBay kind of a thing into Facebook. But I've had a couple of sales today. I was waiting for someone, and they turned up $60 for a camping table.
That was that one you were talking about the other day to that lady.
Yeah.
And did they take the shower thing as well?
Oh, I gave them that. They were. She was a volunteer for helping out animals in the fires and things, and I just gave them that.
Yeah. Denny's asking, Rod, do you have a set timetable you follow when you list, etc., or do you have targets or anything like that?
Not really, no. I did have a theory not so long ago that any activity on eBay has got to be positive. So I was staggering or scheduling DVDs during the week. You know, one weekend I sort of scheduled about 250 DVDs to come on over the week. So I thought, well, at least while they're coming on in some kind of scheduling, I can concentrate on the other stores.
Yeah,
it didn't work out. Failed miserably.
Yeah, I think you still got to be listing, like, you know, good quality things, and I think that's sometimes gets lost a little bit. It's like, list whatever you can, but you know, you got to be listing stuff that sells. Ken saying he loves Facebook Marketplace for sourcing. That's your nemesis there, Rod.
He's all right, Ken.
I'm trying Facebook Marketplace for an item IRA today. Paid 60, looking for 300. I did see that in his stories. That was pretty cool.
Is that item
that Lego
Damien's talking about? Is it new? Because I saw that on your Instagram and I went, wow, and I went and had a look on eBay, and it seemed to be a little bit. I didn't know whether you had a new one or a used one.
Yeah, I think he got it from work.
Oh, you might be reselling full time soon.
It's RA, yeah. So I did have a few more questions before we close out, but if anyone has anything else that they want to talk about, please drop them in. My next question was sort of, what are the biggest challenges that you sort of face in the reselling game? Like, is there sort of one thing that you get really stuck on listing, or like clothing listing, or is there something that you can't do that just you struggle with? I
hate listing clothing. I hate it. You spend so much time. See, I bought a mannequin, but actually ditched the drain pipe one a while ago, and I bought a proper one. But the arms are solid, and you've got to strip the damn thing down every time you want to put a shirt on, and then you've got to iron it if you want a proper nice photograph. And I'm like, really? You know, but I know you've got to offer a variety of items, and clothing's everywhere, as I keep being reminded. So I mean, I've been out today and I've picked up a few things, you know, and some of them are clothing. Today, before we came on here, I'd sold just literally minutes before we came on, a shirt. So I'm fully aware clothing will always be a good seller, provided you get the right one. But yeah, I think if clothing, don't like listing it.
Yeah, I think most people struggle with that. I think once you find a process that works, it does become a little easier, but it definitely takes a lot longer than listing a DVD or a hard good or anything like that. So, yes, definitely.
I just noticed there, KLC Reselling. That's a lady in the UK called Louise, and she sells clothing over there. If there's anybody in the chat who specifically sells clothing, just go over and pay her channel a visit, maybe subscribe to her, and she's got some good videos.
Definitely. Jazz can probably drop a link too. So
yeah.
Liz says, how do you manage your 3 stores? Do you allocate specific days, times, etc. to list on them?
One of the stores is just general stuff everybody else finds, you know, just whether it be electronics or clothing or whatever. The other one is purely DVDs, CDs, and a few video games like media. And the third one's just all over the place. It's kind of a bit of a contentious issue with a few people.
We've had some sneak peeks into this third eBay account, but yeah, it's not made for selling. Let's just put it that way.
No.
I plan a day out travel up to 2 hours away and set deals up before I go. Clothing might be great, but the labor is intensive. Yeah.
That's my issue with it, the labor side of it.
Yeah, it does take a lot longer. I think, I don't know, you just got to find something that works, because I think it's a great market. Doing the flat lay thing with clothing looks like the way to go. Yeah, that's what we do. We flat lay everything.
Well, I was looking at some of your listings yesterday, just to kind of, you know, see, it doesn't matter whether, I mean, someone's been doing it 5 weeks or 50, well, not 50 years, obviously, but, you know, a long time.
Yeah.
Everyone's got something to offer. And yeah, I was looking at your cloth, the way, because you mentioned it on your video about the flat lay.
Hmm.
So I thought, oh yeah, it perhaps does. You know, you've not got to keep dressing a mannequin up and this. But then I saw the watch further on into the video, and I noticed you weren't the one with the iron. So,
No, we have a steamer as well, but it's a bit busted, so we have to use the iron one. We don't pick up a lot of shirts now because you do have to iron. We do a lot of jeans, a lot of jumpers and stuff that don't crinkle as easy, because it does take a long time when you're doing that.
Yeah.
Drew's saying, do the two lads help, or are they interested in reselling?
Me, when I did about 5 storage units tail end of last year and beginning of this year. And if I'm honest, they did help. When I went to go and stay with Andrew for a couple of days, it coincided with I'd won a storage unit, and the eldest, I said to him, look, you know, I've got to go away. I've got to get this unit empty. Can you clear it out? And he got about I'd say about 3/4 of it clear for me, both the lads.
Yeah.
But it cost me dearly. It cost me a crate of beer and several McDonald's later.
Bit of family labor. I'm going to list some clothes for the first time. Awesome. That's great.
Oh dear.
Just trying to find if there's any more in here. People still buy clothes.
Jazz is saying there she can't drop a link to. I'm assuming she's meaning KLC.
Oh,
if you're on StreamYard, you won't be able to. I think you unless you're a spanner. Yeah,
that's all right. You should be able to click on the name on the little icon and find them over as well. I did have a couple more questions. So, if you were giving a piece of advice to a new reseller, what would it be?
Sell me all your stuff cheap.
That's good advice, actually. Yeah, I'd go with
that. What would I give? Everyone says sell something you're interested in. I didn't go along with that sort of way of thinking because all I was interested in at the end of the day was either the pound or the dollar. So, you know, there's no sentimentality in collecting things with me. I'll keep it for a while if I like it, and then I'll just get rid of it. I'm not, you know, we're not going to take these things with us, so I may as well enjoy the life with the money it gives us in the meantime. But I would say try and do a lot of homework. You know, don't just. There's a lot of people on YouTube who will say, "Oh yeah, I made so many hundreds of dollars on this particular item, and you can too." And then it's all hype. Just do a lot of research.
Yeah,
you know.
Research is that. Yeah, that's a very good tip. I think when you first come in, you buy a lot of items because you think, oh, this is going to sell, and then it doesn't sell because it's not relevant to the market. So you have to do a lot of research to get.
We've all got things that we wish we'd never bought. I've still got about 250 Bluetooth headphones in the garage. I won at an auction.
Yeah,
and they were destined for Amazon. And the story with that is I sent 50 into Amazon when it first came out, you know, live over here, and that was the first thing I sold on Amazon.
Yeah,
and I only sold one, and that was to Amazon because we lost one. We had to buy it.
Yeah. Megan's saying I've been on eBay since 2005. I reckon I've learned more in the last year from you all than ever. That's awesome. And I think that's what the community brings is everyone has a different way of doing things, and you kind of adapt how you do it to suit what you need. But getting ideas from other people is a great way to learn.
Yeah.
Here we go. Rod, do you have any apps or online resources that you use regularly to help with reselling? So do you use
Yes, thanks. I have what you all have, the eBay app. I noticed a question just above that about comping items or just flying by the seat of your pants. I think a lot of mine has been flying by the seat of my pants. But I know a lot of people saying in various groups and chats that they're a bit conscious of when they're looking at something in a charity shop or an op shop or wherever you are. And they're looking on the phone, and you can see everyone. They're in there, all squirreling away on the phone, and it doesn't really bother me anymore now. I just if there's an item in there and it's got a barcode, I'll scan it. I'm not bothered if it's on full volume. It goes beep. If you've got a problem with selling it to me, fine. Don't sell it me. I'll go somewhere else. I'm not bothered.
Well, you're paying the price they've asked for it, so what's
exactly,
the problem? Yeah, I think that's just a very good call. And I think once you start reselling, you kind of get a lot better at understanding the value of an item as well. So comps, yes, it's good to go back and check stuff here and there, but you naturally start working out prices on your own as well. Yeah. I hate bolos. You can't go out just looking for one or two things. You got to go out and work and find out the stores of flea markets, boot sales. Yep, absolutely. Fashion Flipper, I've learned so much, and thanks to Aussie Thrifters, Reseller, Download, and Rally Routes and their videos, everything that you need. That's awesome. Thank you. We're glad that we could be part of that for you. There's a lot of negative vibes out there in stores. We're not the most popular tribe. Yeah.
Well, if you take that tribe away, there'll be a lot of upset people at the top of the tree losing their jobs. Because a lot of the money going through charity shops it all ends up back on eBay or wherever.
The percentage that it would be just normal people and buying stuff would be a lot less than the resellers, I would think. I don't think they understand that. I think most of the time they just think that you're ripping them off, but
a lot of the op shops in and around me, there's probably about one which doesn't really grasp what I do, but all the others, we're on first name terms. They know what I do. Even one of them put stuff to one side for me. Just don't try and be deceitful with them. Just be upfront. If they don't like it, then at least you know where you stand with them. So
that's KLC Reselling saying, I think initially I was checking comps, but after a while I just kind of knew what was good. Yeah. And if it was a fail, then I'm sure I'm still making a little money. Yeah, absolutely. It's a learning curve. Yeah. And I think that over time that you sort of develop, you know items, and then you start building your knowledge of items. So it's just, a natural progression. I've stopped caring about those options about what I do. The opinions, I'm presuming that's supposed to be.
That might be a bit.
eBay is making millions, and Amazon owners in the richest man in the world. What would happen if the economy of resellers went away? Absolutely. We spent more in one transaction versus Joe Blow on the street buying some runners for himself. Very, very good call. So is there anything else you'd like to say tonight, Rod, at all? Is there any subjects that you would like to cover?
I've just got a sale.
Oh, you want to talk about your sale?
No.
The DVD?
Not while Ken's still on. It's only a couple of DVDs. No, I'll best cancel the Ferrari.
Here we go. Jazz says you have to drop a knowledge bomb.
Knowledge bomb? Oh, that's the year's territory, isn't it? I haven't a clue. Don't listen to me.
I think something that you said on another one of your streams that you've been on, which could have been over multiple channels at this point. You said
I'm getting about a bit at the moment. It's butterfly.
It's good to see you around. You said that a long time ago you decided that you didn't want to take life so seriously, and you sort of make sure that you keep yourself in that sort of jovial space, and you try to enjoy life to its fullest, which I think if you're going to drop any sort of knowledge bomb, I think that's probably the best advice you can give to anybody.
Well, it's probably might be how I come across on YouTube, but there's a couple other people might say, no, I'm like a Ebenezer Scrooge, I'm a miserable but yeah, I was always two sides to a coin.
Oh yeah, But you know, I think you were sort of saying that you try not to get bogged down when there's, you know, crappy things happening. You kind of just try and move on and get on with the day. So when I go boot sales, I don't shave and wear hobo clothes. What?
Do you know what? It's funny you mention that about shaving, right? When I used to work full, you know, clock in and out in a regular job, I'd turn up, I'd have, you know, stubble. I wouldn't shave for a week or whatever. I tried to make a conscious effort a while ago. I know today when I was on stream this morning, but that was by pure chance. I had not planned. I'd not even been up an hour or so. But I just tried to every day. Just try. Sounds stupid. Just try to have a shave every day. If you feel half decent, then you know you hopefully have a chance of your day being half decent.
Yeah, and I think that's a very good point. Like having a positive mindset or having a negative mindset can really change the outlook of your day, and it can change what happens in that day because you're looking at either the negative or the positive. So yeah, very good point. So we've passed the hour mark now. So thank you very much for coming on tonight. It was a nice little insight into the world of the pommy picker. So I will drop a quick little shout out on Sunday. We are having Zahir on from the UK. So our first international reseller coming on This Is Your Reselling Life. So Zahir and Beck are going to come on, which I know Pommy is a fan of their channel. If you haven't checked out Zahir, there is a link in our Instagram. So he'll be on Sunday, and I think we're starting at about 8:30. So it will be a little bit late on Sunday, but just with the time zones and that's how it's had to work out. So
can I just mention one thing?
Yeah.
A little plug. This you mentioned a few moments ago that being about a week this week. And yeah, I'm conscious of that. I don't want to be in too many people's faces. But tomorrow night on the Waffle, there is 15 minutes before I've premiered the Star Wars origami challenge.
Looking forward to that. Indeed.
Yeah, it's not pretty. So that's on at 7:15, and then obviously myself and Andrew will be on with the Waffle later. But there is a twist to the tale in the origami challenge. Ooh. So and there's a guy. He's not been in on this chat, but there's a guy in the UK called Peter Ray.
Yes. Yep.
Yep, and apparently I'm scheduled to go on his channel our Thursday morning. I can't remember what time it is. I better get me
pretty early, I'd suggest.
Yeah, I think it's about 5 in the morning for me.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, so that's my social whoring for the week.
So make sure you guys head over to Pommy's channel tomorrow night. Watch the little prequel, and then the Waffle, obviously. And then we will all see you on Sunday, hopefully in the chat with Zahir. It's going to be an awesome episode, Zahir and Beck. Really looking forward to that. So thanks, everyone that's come along tonight. We really appreciate it. Make sure you leave a thumbs up for Rod and his story. It's always good to chat to Rod. So, yeah, we'll leave it at that. But thanks, everyone, for coming along, and we'll see you next time on This Is Your Reselling Life.
Thank you.
Bye, Rod.
Bye.